What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Arena of Valor / League of Legends Wild Rift video, because this time we will be comparing both of these games, but not like we already did in terms of which game will have more success or which game will have the bigger player base. We already did that in the Future of Arena of Valor video that I uploaded a couple days ago, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure to do that. And yeah, this time we are just gonna be comparing strictly on a gameplay level, because a lot of you guys actually are asking me, how is Wild Rift gonna be? Should you switch from AOV to Wild Rift? Should you be super hyped for Wild Rift? Or should you just not care and just stick with AOV to begin with? And or even play both, right? So these are the questions that I'm gonna be trying to answer today. And of course, in the background, we have some Misfortune Wild Rift alpha footage from Zemerson, so make sure to check him out and thank him for providing these gameplays to us in the description or in the comments below. Now, let's get started. So, first of all, I wrote down five points, which I think encompass the MOBA experience as a whole. And we're gonna use these 5 keywords to compare these two games, Arena of Valor and Wild Rift, to each other, and help you decide which one you should be, which one is gonna fit your preferred playstyle more. So, first of all, we're gonna be talking about the champions and hero designs. Then we're gonna be talking about the map of both games. Then we're gonna be talking about the laning phase of both games. Then we're going to be talking about the jungling experience. Both of these games have a dedicated jungler, unlike Mobile Legends. And lastly, we're going to finish with the mid and late game of both of these games. Now, let's start with the most important point, which is going to be the champions and heroes, because these are the characters that you play at the end of the day and that you play against. And if they're not fun to play or play against, then the game is just trash, right? It's not gonna be fun, even if the map is the best one, even if everything else is perfect. So, the champion and hero designs, champions in Wild Rift, heroes in Arena of Valor, I think they are pretty different. Well, the most obvious difference is that in Wild Rift you will have 4 abilities, and in Arena of Valor you only have 3 on most of the heroes. And yeah, but this is not gonna matter too much in my opinion, because at the end of the day, in League of Legends Wild Rift, each ability likes to keep it a little bit more simple by themselves. For example, Misfortune, her second ability, just makes her run faster and gives her extra attack speed for a couple seconds. So I don't think this adds too much to the difficulty of a game. I know a lot of people are scared of that, but I think where the difficulty ramps up in Wild Rift is in a lot of other areas that we will cover. But just the champions, I don't think they are more difficult than in Arena of Valor. I would even argue that AOV has some heroes that are harder than any League of Legends hero. For example, Superman, right? Very, very unique design that just has to pay attention, has to keep track of all the enemy CC abilities and stuff at all times, even more so than any other hero in any game. So I feel like the difficulty won't be really going skyrocketing from Arena of Valor to Wild Rift. So if you were scared about that, I don't think that's a concern. I think the main concern for you Arena of Valor players switching to Wild Rift is going to be that it's gonna be difficult to find that one hero that you will truly enjoy, that you will be able to spam thousands of games of. Because I know in Arena of Valor, there's a lot of players who like to play only one hero. And heroes like Murad, heroes like Superman, Nakrov, Tulan Raz, L'Oreal, there's a lot of players who have like thousands of games on only that singular hero, because these heroes, they are so unique that you never run out of fun playing them. And there is some of those in Wild Rift in League of Legends, for example Yasuo, for example Zed, but it isn't, there's Orianna, in my opinion fits that category as well. But there isn't as many as in Arena of Valor. So bottom line is going to be that Arena of Valor is much more ballsy with their hero designs compared to League of Legends. League of Legends likes to keep it simple, but still fun. They are very good at designing champions that have a simple kit. The abilities by themselves seem very simple, but everything combined becomes still complex enough and still it flows together so well that you have a lot of fun playing it still. However, as I said, in Arena of Valor, you have these ballsy designs, which oftentimes also become a little bit too OP. Like you can see, Alain is coming soon, the Kirito hero, and he is just so crazy already, completely overloaded with true damage, magic damage, all kinds of stuff. It's gonna be so annoying to play against him, honestly, but it's also gonna be fun to play as him. So this is just up to preference. If you get annoyed a lot by the enemy heroes because they're too broken, then Wild Rift might be a little bit more appealing to you. But if you are one of these players who really likes to play a broken hero, but likes to really get good at them so they can really win like 80% of the games with like Yena, Darcy and stuff, all these heroes can do, then Wild Rift will be difficult to settle in, I think. Now let's move on to the map, which is gonna be the biggest difference, I think. The map is of course gonna be pretty similar. The size is a little bit larger in Wild Rift. So it's gonna be a little bit of a slower game. The roams are gonna take longer, but that is not too big of a difference. Truly the biggest difference is the fog of war, guys, okay? You don't have only the bushes where you can hide from enemies, you can also hide past walls because of how the fog of war works, okay? You cannot see past a wall unless you place a ward right there, which you can see in the top right corner in the gameplay right now, the little yellow trinket thingy. That is what you use to place wards. So you will have to, there will be a lot of more macro because you will have to play around this vision. You will have to place proper wards that protect you from the jungler ganks. You will also have to walk around the enemy's wards when you're trying to roam and all kinds of these things, okay? It is especially going to change mid and jungler gameplay a lot compared to Arena of Valor. So definitely if you are a fan of macro gameplay and out sneaking your opponent, like outplaying them on a macro level, okay? So big brain gameplay as opposed to just clean mechanics and good team fighting, then Wild Rift might be more appealing to you guys, okay, than Arena of Valor. But if you turn that around, if you just like to fight, and of course the map is a little bit bigger, the laning phase is a little bit more pronounced, which we will get to soon. And if you prefer a lot of team fights, a lot of these 4v4 skirmishes, as opposed to just big brain gameplay, so mechanically outplaying your opponents more often, then Arena of Valor might be more appealing, okay? So let's get into the laning phase now. The laning phase is of course going to be way more pronounced in this game. The laning phase is going to have a lot more focus on, it's going to take a little bit longer than in Arena of Valor. There is, for example, the 2v2 laning in the marksman position with the support, as opposed to the roaming support, because of course you don't need a roaming support when you have wards to illuminate the map, right? So now this is of course going to change a lot. If you are a Slayer lane main in Arena of Valor, you will be very familiar with this 1v1 playstyle that you will have not only in the top lane in Wild Rift, but also in the mid lane, okay? The mid lane is going to be a lot more close to a Slayer lane in Arena of Valor than it is going to be to the actual mid lane of Arena of Valor. You're not just going to clear out those waves and roam, you will really have to fight for these minions, you will have to last hit them, and this is another big one. In AOV, you get 40% increased gold if you last hit, so you really should last hit, and you really should pay attention to that. However, in Wild Rift, you get 400% increased gold. Instead of getting 8 gold from a minion that just dies passively, you will get 40 gold, guys, okay? That's a 5 times increase. So that is insane, right? You will really need to get those last hits. And if you are able to zone out the opponent, if you are a very good Slayer lane player in AOV that always wins lane 1v1, right? you will really be able to gain a huge advantage in Wild Rift, because you will be able to push them away, to zone them away from the minions, and they're just gonna completely lose to you, okay? Same in the mid lane, by the way, okay? So if you are a fan of this 1v1 kind of playstyle, I think Wild Rift will be very suited for you. Now, moving on to the jungle position, okay? The jungle position is probably one of the, is by far the biggest change from, if you're a jungler from an AOV, switching to Wild Rift, you will feel very, very different, okay? It is a completely different type of playstyle. Because in AOV, frankly, jungling is really OP, guys, okay? Compared to other MOBAs. Because in AOV, you can see like 80% of the player base mains jungle, because it's the only way you can consistently carry solo queue games. Because not only do junglers in general have the most map pressure, because you're hidden from the enemies for the longest time, right? So you are ganking, you're applying the macro gameplay, right? You're invading the enemy jungle. Everything is in your power, the objectives, the pushing the towers, you join your team to push the towers. You get the dragons, you get the slayer, right? So you have the most, you're the alpha chad, okay, of the game, basically. And, but also, you have the most gold, you have the most XP, and you probably deal the most damage because you're playing Murad or something similar, right? Like a Darcy or something, right? Maybe even a marksman in the jungle like a Landor, Pain, Kira, right? They're so strong. And yeah, but in Wild Rift, compared to that, you will be a second support. You are the secondary support. You will be simping for this beautiful misfortune, okay? You will be simping for this beautiful Ahri on the map, right? You will take the first blue buff. Hey, you better cherish that, because the rest of the blue buffs are gonna be going to that Ahri, okay? And she's not even gonna give you anything of that, okay? Hey, you see these Melandreas? You're not gonna get any of them. You're just a simp, okay? You're not getting anything. You're not the alpha chat like in AOV. You're just simping for them, giving them blue buff, okay? You are giving up farm for them. They will, hey, you see those raptors? You're playing with an Orianna mid lane. Hey, you're not getting any of that robo waifu, but she is definitely getting your raptors, okay? She's gonna steal all your farm, and it's the correct play. You want them to get fed. You are mostly gonna play a tanky jungler. You're not even gonna play assassins most of the time. They added some good assassins in Wild Rift to help AOV and the Mobile Legends players and stuff feel more at home. So don't worry about that. You will still have some assassins, but you won't be most XP. You won't be most gold, okay, at all. Not even close, guys, okay? You will be behind both of your solo lanes in levels and way behind in gold, if they're farming well. And if you steal their farm in the mid lane or in the top lane, they will go AFK. They will go AFK, boys, okay? That is how it's gonna go down. And the marksmen, you will simp for them late game, because if you make them survive in a team fight, if you peel for them, the game is over, okay? You win. You did your job. So the role is completely different, okay? And imagine that Baldum jungle video that I did a couple of weeks ago in Arena of Valor. That's how it's gonna be. You're gonna be the simp, okay? You're gonna help them. You're gonna be the tanky jungler who still has a good jungle clear, so you can still get your buffs fast and then gank, but you're gonna spend a lot more time ganking than actually farming, which is, in my opinion, cooler, makes a lot more sense. And keep in mind, it is still, every League of Legends high elo player says it, it is still the best role for solo carrying in high ranks in League of Legends, jungling, okay? Even though it's a secondary support, just because of all that map pressure. Now imagine how much map pressure you have in AOV. And now Fog of War, okay, introduced. It is even more map pressure, okay, guys? It is still a really strong role, so don't worry about that, but it's very changed, okay? Now, let's finish off with the mid and late game, right? Every MOBA has a very similar mid and late game. You can see it here. They are grouping for the objective Baron Nashor, which is Slayer in Arena of Valor. And they're just grouping, they're forcing fights, they are sieging towers. Everything is pretty much the same. everything is pretty much going to take the same amount of time, right? So nothing much is changing here from Arena of Valor to Wild Rift. Of course, you have 4 abilities per hero, so you might have a little bit faster team fights because everything has a little bit more damage or more tools available to them. You have more summoner skills, stuff like that, right? So it might be a little bit more mechanically intensive in some team fights, but for the most part, it's gonna stay the same. Now, the key why I'm mentioning this though still, even though it's staying the same, is because of course we were talking about the laning phase is getting longer. So where are they saving time? They're not, okay? This is gonna take longer. That's what I'm trying to get at. Wild Rift is gonna be a longer game than Arena of Valor. So if you're a fan of the quick rounds of Arena of Valor, 12 minutes, right? You will be way more at home there. If you like the 20-minute gameplay though of Wild Rift, then you will be more at home there. Now, of course, this can change with balance changes and stuff in the future, but for the most part, if you want to keep laning phase, a full laning phase experience, you can't really have it shorter than 15 to 20 minutes. It is what it is, guys. So that is pretty much going to be it. I just want to show you that this game right now took around 14 minutes and the enemies surrendered. Otherwise, it would have taken like 2 more minutes for them to finish with that Baron buff. Or 1 more minute, let's say. So a 15-minute game, and I was telling you, the marksman and the mage are the most important parts of the game, right? Are the hard carries. And Zemerson went 10 kills or 11 kills on Misfortune. His Ahri mid laner went 10 and 0, and they still took 14 minutes for the enemies to lose, and it had to be through a surrender, okay? So you can already see the increased game time. This would be a 10-minute juicer, an 8-minute juicer maybe even for Arena of Valor. So yeah, I really hope this video helped you guys. I really hope I covered all the nooks and crannies of both of these games. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Let me know what you will be playing further down the line. And I think by this explanation now, you should have realized that these games are really fundamentally different enough that you can play both and enjoy both. Anyway, that is going to be it. Follow Zemerson. Links are in the description and comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys the next time. Peace out, boys. Bye-bye.